YouTube. This is something serious I got to talk about. To all you kids, I mean, well, I only have like 10 subscribers, but any kids who find this video, this is something really serious. All right, you're gonna like anybody else. I'm only 15 years old. I mind you, right? But I still have experience in this. But this is about drinking. Any kids out there, don't pick up that bottle, whatever you do. This is just a story of what happened to me. One day I decided to pick up a bottle of Smirnoff. I drank about a quart of that in less than an hour. Don't know what went through my head. Drank more than a quart. Walked to school. I mean, I walked my bus stop. My bus stop is 1.05 clicks, and I've done that with the GPS. So I walked 1.05 clicks drunk, but that wasn't the worst of it. Now I drank more than a quart in an hour, so I ended up getting alcohol poisoning, and I got it on the bus. I threw up all over my bus. I remember some parts I was yelling at my bus driver to take me to the hospital, and that's what I remember. I remember passing out. I woke up and it wasn't so bad, but I remember my there was like a new she was new at the school, and this was like back in December. My school starts in September, so it was like 3 months into school. No, this is back in November. Fuck, I'm not good with dates. Anyway, but she was new there, and I remember her standing there asking, "Emmett, did you take any pills? Did you take any pills?" And I do take a pill. It's called Adderall. I take it for, I have ADD, so I take it for that. And I said yes, and I was trying to say take it every morning, right? I couldn't think, so I was trying to say I take it every morning. It was like a prescription, because it is a prescription. It's prescription medication. So I tried to tell her that I took a pill called Adderall, and all I got was yes out of my mouth. And every time I tried to tell her it was a prescription, I opened my mouth and it would just all come. I was just yes, right. So it wasn't pretty. And then the last thing I remember was her saying, "Oh, okay, you got a bucket? Okay, here. Here's a bucket." And then I just remember passing out. And the next memory I have, and this is one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. I remember, this wasn't hard, but it's just hard for me to take in. I remember my dad, and I love my dad so much. I don't ever get to see him, right? Because he and my mom broke up when I was in grade 1, I think, so I would have been 6. I love him so much. He's the best person in my life, right? And I just remember my dad in there walking with the stretcher when they were bringing me into the hospital. I remember telling my dad that I loved him and that I was scared. It's kind of hard for me to think about that, but then I woke up and I was sober and I was in the hospital. And I remember I thought it was a dream at first when I woke up, and I had an IV in this hand, but the machine was over on this side of me. So I remember I was just laying in the hospital bed, and I didn't know if it was a dream or not, so I just reached my hand up slowly. There was this little booklet on the IV machine, and I just touched that booklet. I just grasped it in my hand just a little bit, and after I touched that and knew the feeling of it, I knew that this wasn't a dream, that it actually happened. Just dropped my hand down like that and just sat there, and I saw my dad right beside me, almost in tears, still in his work clothes. He works in a welding shop, so he's still in his overalls. I remember still hearing like the heart rate monitors just going beep, 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 like that. One of the hardest things I've ever had to do was wake up. It was just the hardest moment of my life. I've always wondered, like when I was little, I always wondered, like what does it feel like to just wake up in a hospital not knowing where you were? I always thought it'd be like a cool kind of a feeling. I don't know why, but now I know it just kind of, it sucks. Right? My blood alcohol that day was .33. Considering that .08 is legally drunk, I was 25 over that. I think my math isn't that good, but I think I was like 25 over legally drunk. It's a hard thing to do. And then I had to tell my bus driver that I was sorry because he had to clean it up. Everybody worried. And it's a hard thing to do. And that's why any kids out there watching this video, I strongly urge you, don't drink. Just wait. Don't drink when you're younger. At least be in high school, right? I mean, at least be over grade 9 when you drink. Because I mean, this didn't happen. This happened recently. I was 14 when it happened, and I'm 15 now. This happened December, February, March, April, 6 months ago. It's a hard thing for me to talk about now. I regret doing it. I strongly regret it. I compromised my liver. Got everybody worried in my family. I almost died. If I hadn't have gone on that fucking bus, I would have been dead. If I had left just, I mean, if I had drank a little earlier. Just don't drink. This is a hard thing for me to talk about. Now, I know my regular videos are of like guns, knives, you know, outdoor stuff, fishing. Well, I don't have a lot of videos right now. Most of them are just blogs like on this shitty webcam. But this is just something that's been on my chest. I thought I'd do a video of it, and I'm gonna post this. Another hard thing about it, the day that happened, my grandmother. Now, here right now, I'm at my grandparents' house, right? Like every morning, I go to my grandparents' house, right? Because I'm on this fucked up split shift thing, right? Where because my school was a piece of shit, needed to be renovated. So we're on a split shift. I go to school from 1 o'clock to 5:30, right? So I get my grandparents in the morning. I just do whatever there. Like I'm usually home alone, right? And that's what I was. I was home alone at my grandparents' house. The hard thing about it was my grandmother, her sister died on that exact day. I mean, it wasn't that day. Like, it didn't happen 6 months ago. This happened before I was born, but that was the day that my grandmother died, or not my grandmother. My grandmother's sister died. So you could imagine what she would have felt if she would have walked in and me choked on a pile of my own vomit, just laying there dead. That would have just been devastating. So kids, I strongly urge you, just don't drink. Don't even try it. I mean, look what happened to me. 33% blood alcohol. Drunker than anything. I never want it to happen again, and it won't happen. So just, kids, don't drink.